things do bother me. It's like, why are we women supposed to prove ourselves to have brains?
Do you feel that people still find it unusual when, like, a good-looking woman who is also accomplished? Do you feel that people still find it a little surprising?
Not a little, they find it very surprising. I believe that every human being has a superpower. Every human being has a certain potential. There are so many self-proclaimed life coaches, and that really bothers me because at the end of the day, look, it is a science.
Somewhere you have to go along with your heart or whatever, makes you feel right at that point.
I miss medicine, I do.
You miss it?
I do. There was a lot of issues that I went through in the sense of self-worth and confidence and esteem. Boys especially, group of boys would always make the cat sound, whenever. So I started being very ashamed of my eyes. When I came into modeling and acting, and when people used to compliment me on my eyes, I would think that they're pulling my leg.
You have consciously, refused corrective cosmetic surgery.
Right now, I don't want to do it. People do say that, you should get a little Botox done because, frown lines are seen and crow's feet are seen. If you feel that you need Botox or you need fillers, go ahead and do it. Just don't start looking like somebody else. By trying to be a 20-year-old, it's not, who am I fooling? So no point crying over spilled milk, because then it becomes like, what if? And you can't live your life with what ifs, right? It is about what is.
When a woman is referred to as having beauty with brains, it's considered to be the ultimate compliment. Throughout history, women have been expected to uphold ideals of flawlessness and beauty, and if they're very intelligent as well, then that's considered to be an added bonus. The beauty bar nowadays is impossibly high, and easily available surgeries and cosmetic procedures have become commonplace to achieve these unrealistic standards of beauty. But all this comes with a psychological cost. We have seen so many actors and young influencers succumb to the pressures to look picture perfect. To discuss this issue and how to spread more body positivity, we have with us someone who can speak not only as a supermodel but as a doctor as well. Very pleased to have with us on Buzz by the Bay, actor, model and active psychologist Dr. Aditi Govitrikar. Welcome on Buzz by the Bay, Aditi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you. Of course, I remember you right from the late 90s when you started your career. You're probably the only Indian supermodel to have both a medical degree and a psychology degree. A distinction that has led publications to describe you as beauty with brains. Of course, that's an apt description. But do you feel that people still find it unusual when they see, like, a good-looking woman who is also accomplished? Do you feel that people still find it a little surprising?
Not a little, they find it very surprising, because now of course in India, a lot of people know about my medical education and the fact that I'm also a psychologist. However, when I travel abroad and I tell them that this is who I am, they go like, oh, really? And I'm like, why that expression?
Yeah.
So yes, it doesn't come with the territory, if I may say so. It's unexpected, yes.
It's unexpected, right? People still, imagine we're in 2025 and people still react with surprise. And beauty with brains is, like I said, like a big compliment. But I don't hear people talk about an intelligent, handsome guy. They don't say, oh, he's handsome with a high IQ. People don't usually say that.
Well, brawn and brains, that's a combination that can be really lethal, but yeah, you don't see those kind of comments or compliments coming a man's way.
Yeah.
And these things do bother me. It's like, why are we women supposed to prove ourselves to have brains? It's not expected, it's not a norm. Why is it not a norm? I mean, brain is brain, whether it's in a man's head or a woman's head, right? So these are the conversations that I'm glad we are having, and I hope that lot more people come out and speak about it.
Yeah, that's why you're here, to speak about it, and you're a good advocate for it. But you wear many hats. See, you're an actor. I've recently seen you in some very nice shows. Of course, you have, you've been on Big Boss, Khatron Ki Khiladi, and movies and all that. Model, supermodel, psychologist, doctor, motivation management professional, a parent also to a 25-year-old and a 19-year-old. Wow. I mean, how do you balance all this?
I think the kind of person I am, I'm internally motivated. So that's a very, I think it's God's gift. It's a blessing, and I'm forever grateful for it, because most of the people that I interact with, including my children, external motivation plays a big role. For me, I think people have to demotivate me not to do so many things, because I just feel that there's just so much I can do, and I still feel that there's so much I want to do in life. And because of that kind of feeling, I think I'm able to navigate through different professions. However, one thing is very important to clarify here, that it's not like I jump from one to the other.
Okay.
I don't leave things halfway. So if I decided to pursue psychology so late in life, I started studying only in 2014 or 15, and I got my third degree in 2023, because I did my post-graduation in counseling from Tata Institute. I did my masters in India, and then I did my masters from Harvard. I made sure that I did it all properly. It was not like I did a 2-month program somewhere and I proclaimed myself to be a psychologist or a life coach, because that to me is not the way I work with myself.
Okay.
And that's the reason I think I'm able to do so many things, and that's what I tell my children also, that whatever you're doing, give it your best, give it what is required.
So, which degree did you do in Harvard? That was one of your more recent degrees.
The last one that I did was from Harvard. That's Masters in Psychology.
So, it's a proper master.
It is a proper Masters, yes.
Wow, that's
I
pretty
worked very hard.
incredible. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, and so that was what, like almost a 2-year course or something like that, or?
You have to do 12 modules and they give you a period of 4 years. So you can finish it within 4 years. So that's how it is. And there are so many self-proclaimed life coaches, and that really bothers me, because at the end of the day, look, it is a science. There is a way how you can guide somebody navigate through their life. And the other part is that there is no indifference in any session, by which I mean that if you are a life coach and I come to you for help, I can either go downwards or I can go higher. There is no that I will not leave this room staying where I am when I came in. So one has to be very careful with whom you work with your own life, because it is your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, there are many self-proclaimed people out there. It's good you take it seriously. So what exactly is a motivation management professional? Does that tie into your career as a psychologist? Yeah.
So yes, it does. I do a lot of well-being, wellness practice, and part of that is, of course, motivation. Motivation plays a very big role in our lives, internal as well external. Like I said, that some people are internally motivated, lesser so than externally. In that, what happens is, if you come to me to work on your life, I believe that every human being has a superpower. Every human being has a certain potential, and some people manage to get there, yet there is a blind spot which we all have. So I work with somebody as well, because I have my own blind spots, right? How do I navigate through that? And that's where a mentor or a professional comes into the picture to keep you on track. Look, it is like this. Research shows that first 5 to 7 days of year's beginning, the gyms have maximum memberships, and then it kind of whittles down, and nobody lands up using their membership to the T. Why? Because at that time everybody is into this New Year's resolution, and I will get a great body, and then of course the motivation goes down. How do you stay on track? So accountability becomes a very big part of being a motivational professional. So that's where it all, and there is of course a consequence to it. And I see, okay, what is it that will bother you if that's taken away? And that becomes the consequence of you not following the steps that we have enumerated together. So it's not like I sit with somebody and say that, okay, you need to go for 45 minutes every day for a jog. It is because you might not be a person who likes jogging at all.
Yeah.
Right? What is it that you like? What is it that you can do you decide for yourself along with me, and that's how we navigate through it.
So what do you do? Like you punish your
Punishment is a very wrong word.
Okay, fine.
Like I told you when we were chatting that I am very cognizant of these words that we
All
use
right.
when we speak. So punishment has a very negative, and you know, we all like think of our school days that, oh, I was punished. So we don't want to get into that kind of conversation. This is more of a consequence that you choose for yourself. Again, that is
Okay,
you know.
can you give us an example? Like,
Yeah, sure. So example could be that you don't watch any television or any OTT for a week.
okay.
That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I find out what is it that you do in your regular day, what is it that you like, what is it that you dislike. So it could be choosing something that you dislike as well. That could be a consequence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Like,
Yeah.
how fascinating. And does that work with your clients?
So far, yes, it has worked
It
very
has.
well, because again, the reason for this whole system to be successful is because you have chosen it.
You know, you obviously studied very hard to get into medical school. We know
Yeah.
it's not easy. And you got your degree, MBBS. And then, but then you of course decided to get into modeling and all. You were going to become a gynecologist. So, I mean, why did you, after studying so hard, why did you then give that up?
So at that time, frankly, it wasn't a well thought through decision, in the sense that I did not think at that time that I would continue to model for such a long time or get into this field forever. At that time, when I took the decision, it was like, for a year I will try this out and then I will go back to becoming a gynac. But you know, life happens, and I didn't even realize when 1 year was over, and by the time it was like, okay, now I'm completely into it, so might as well continue, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, and somewhere you have to go along with your heart or whatever, you know, makes you feel right at that point.
I miss medicine, I do.
You miss it?
I do.
So
yeah.
again, I don't want to use the word regrets, but do you kind of wish you had chosen differently at that time?
No, I think in hindsight we all are perfectly well sighted, right? We all have 20/20 vision when
Yeah.
it comes to hindsight. So no point crying over spilled milk, because if then it becomes like, what if? And you can't live your life with what ifs, right? It is about what is.
Yeah.
And you look forward, and that's how you work, and you learn from your past mistakes, obviously. And that's what I did. Like today, if I am pulled towards doing something, I don't jump into it like I have been in my past, because I'm a very impulsive person in that
Okay.
sense. I don't think things through, and that's a mistake I don't make anymore. If I'm planning to do something new, or if it is a decision that means I have to leave something for going ahead with that, I take time. Yeah.
And you had entered the Glad Rags supermodel
Supermodel
contest,
contest,
and then
yeah.
you walked away with the first,
Yes.
with first place.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, of course,
That
you
was
never
a
looked
beginning.
back.
Yeah,
that was a beginning.
Yeah.
Well, but the film industry, modeling industry is a very difficult and stressful space, especially now we see,
Yeah.
you know, for budding actors who are, and we've also seen established actors these days, and influencers, models, you know, succumb to the uncertainties and pressure of this industry. But how did you withstand the stress and pressure of the industry?
So I think, so how I used to process these insecurities in my own head was, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to go back to medicine, at least in the initial few years. So I never felt insecure that, oh, you know, I'm not chosen to be a showstopper for so and so show, that I'm one of the models, you know. Because for me, I'm very ambitious and competitive, but it was never with stepping on somebody's shoulders to work. It was always with myself. So, for example, when I was in school, I did not like being second. I would get very angry with myself. I never got angry with the girl who came first or the boy who came first.
But do you find that at some point it did affect the mental health? I mean, you're a psychologist now, and you know a lot about mental health, obviously, and now we're seeing a mental health crisis, I'd say.
Yeah.
But at that point, these were your sort of coping techniques. So you didn't really feel any sort of stress on your mental health at that time.
Not where work was concerned. Yeah, I mean, personal life, of course, there was a lot of issues that I went through, in the sense of self-worth and confidence and esteem and those kind of issues where it was very dark at that time. But where work was concerned, I don't think I've ever been insecure about my ability to get there.
So, Aditi, someone will look at you and say, why would you go through any problems with self-worth or self-esteem? I'm just saying, people look at people and they judge superficially.
Of
They're
course.
like, she's a supermodel, she looks great.
Yeah.
Why would you have problems with self-worth or self-esteem?
Well, a good question. So, I'll take you back to my childhood. Now, where I grew up, I underwent a lot of eve teasing. A lot of eve teasing. Plus, my mother I was very skinny as a child, really skinny. My mother always used to tell me that you need to put on weight, otherwise nobody will get married to you and nobody will want to marry you. Things like that. And then because of my light eyes and the looks that I had, whenever we used to walk on roads, I used to cycle a lot. I used to have a bicycle and I used to go on that. Boys especially, group of boys would always make the cat sound, whenever. So I started being very ashamed of my eyes.
Really?
Yeah. So to an extent where if as a family we would walk together, I would either walk behind everybody or go in front, because my entire family has light eyes except my mom. She has brown eyes. I didn't want to walk with them because of the eyes again. So I would always look down. As a result, your body language is extremely or deeply connected to your emotions and your thoughts. When you look down, automatically your confidence kind of goes down, right? I mean, you always say that look up, to feel better. So that, and being skinny, I used to think that, oh my God, I was never ever, I don't remember anybody telling me that I'm pretty as a child or I'm good looking, or it was always about, oh, you came first, that's so nice. So I was always praised for my academics in my family where I grew up over there.
You grew up, in Mumbai?
In Panvel.
In Panvel. Okay.
Yeah. Or Pune, when I used to go for my vacations, all my relatives would be praising me for that. Not once did anybody say that. So I never thought of my looks ever. I never even looked at the mirror and said, oh, I have to, look a certain. I never bothered. I didn't come to, because I was a nerd. I am a nerd. I would always be reading books or, learning something new. So that's where I came from. To add to it, I was an introvert.
It takes a lot to share backstories like this and the impact. That's the thing, one shouldn't judge a book by the cover, because looking at you, I wouldn't have thought that, okay, you were not a confident person, or you had this you were ashamed of having light eyes or whatever it is, because half the world wears colored contacts.
That's what happened when I came into modeling and acting, and when people used to compliment me on my eyes, I would think that they're pulling my leg. I never took it seriously. I would never say that, oh, thank you. I'm like, kind of brush it away and not take it as a compliment graciously.
Recently, you've had roles in OTT shows like Mismatched.
Yeah.
Where I think you play the mother of
Rohit Saraf.
Saraf. And Life Hill Gayi, which is on Hotstar.
Yes.
I watched that. I love that show.
It's a very nice show. You
were just in one. Unfortunately, you were in only 1 or 2 episodes. You should have been in more. But I saw a post on your Instagram where you said that the younger generation of actors are more open about mental health struggles.
They are.
And seeing a therapist.
Yes. So this revelation pretty much came on the sets of Mismatched, because obviously in between 2 shots you're sitting and chilling and chatting, and Mismatched, in the cast, I think 80% or 90% of the kids are youngsters. They are between the age of 20 and 25 or 26. And there, the conversation used to be very openly about, oh, my therapist said this to me and I should not be doing this. And somebody said that, yeah, but I'm not sure I want to continue with this. So very open conversation, which was so nice to hear. It was so nice, because pre-COVID, I had a clinic, and I would get requests such as that, make sure that nobody sees me coming in and going out. So make sure that there is a gap between the previous client and the next client, so that I can exit without being seen. To where these people are openly talking about it. So I think that was amazing.
So you're saying there's less stigma
Yeah,
with it?
yeah. People are
Okay.
speaking. I think that's one good thing which COVID brought into our lives is the awareness of mind or mental health or mental disorders. That I'm of course things are being very loosely thrown that I'm feeling depressed and I'm getting anxiety attack and all. But yet, yeah, I mean, at least the conversation has started.
Okay. So when do you practice as a psychologist? Like how do you balance the acting and the,
Yeah.
psychology and the Mrs. India and all that? How
Yeah.
do you balance all that?
So I have 5 clients. I only take 5 clients at a time. Once they are out of whatever they've come to me for, whatever work they want to do on their lives, then I incorporate another client. So I don't take like back-to-back sessions or anything.
Okay.
And I don't get them hooked on to therapy. I make sure that they can deal with whatever situation that comes in their lives after we finish our work. SOS, I'm available, but
Okay.
then we have a whole plan wherein they are able to then manage on their own.
Okay, so you make them sort of self-sufficient.
Yes.
Do you also prescribe psychiatric drugs or no?
No, I don't. Although
You
I
don't.
can, but I'm against it because I'm not a practicing psychiatrist. So I am in touch with a few psychiatrists who I have studied with, and then I refer the clients if I feel the need that okay there is some support that's required medicinally, then I get them to.
But just going back a bit to the sets of these shows that you've done, you've of course been on Big Boss and all that, but and in other films. But how is it being on the sets now, being the more let's say the more senior actor compared to these 25-year-olds? How was it feeling like playing a mother or what? I mean, how did you feel doing that?
Well, firstly, playing Rohit's mother was a pleasure because he's such a good actor and he's so much fun
Yeah.
and an extremely well brought up child. So it was a pleasure being in that same zone as him. Prajakta is another amazing human being. So it was a great experience. It was really nice.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. Coming to your thoughts on cosmetic surgery, because you have consciously, refused corrective cosmetic surgery. What's your take on it? Because it seems to be like
A
so
norm.
normalized.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my thought is that right now I don't want to do it. People do say that, oh, you should get a little Botox done because, frown lines are seen and crow's feet are seen. So, my thing is, maybe I'll do it, but I'm not ready for it right now. And my thought again is that feel free to do whatever you want to do. It's your face, it's your body. Be mindful that you don't overdo it because it's a slippery slope.
Yes.
And what happens is that with social media you get so much of knowledge that use this serum, do this process, do this facial, do this red light blue. There's just so much. You don't need to do so much. Less is more. So for example, I go for a facial regularly. I did a facial recently with exosomes, which has those micro needling kind of a thing where they put that serum. Nothing wrong with that. And if you feel that you need Botox or you need fillers, go ahead and do it. Just don't start looking like somebody else. Because if you see today, everybody started looking so similar that the individuality is lost. The uniqueness of you is lost.
Like you said, it can go down a slippery slope, right? It becomes an obsession.
It does.
And an unhealthy obsession.
Yes, yes.
Have you ever counseled people on this?
Not yet, but I would love to.
Yeah? What would you tell someone? Like, what would you tell
you
someone who's
can't
obsessed
tell anything
with
to
this?
anybody. It is about discovering the reason why he or she is doing what they are doing and get to the root of it, because it can stem because of so many things, right? It could be a basic insecurity about your age. It could be insecurity about somebody else, right? It could purely be body dysmorphic disorder, which is an extreme spectrum of how you look at yourself.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the root cause. So what I would do is I would arrive to that first to see, okay, where is this stemming from, and then take it from there and then have a conversation for the other person to realize what is happening. Because sometimes you have these glasses like pink shades and then you see everything pink. It's like that. So the whole purpose would be to get rid of those pink glasses so that you're able to see clearly where you are at.
Yeah. But isn't there so much pressure on women in the industry? in the
Absolutely.
glamorous right
Oh
now,
my
much
God,
more than
yes.
there is on men.
Always. That's always been the thing,
Yeah.
right? That and that's one of the things which I'm fighting is the ageism bit with Marvelous
Yes.
Mrs. India. So one of the we don't have any age limit. We had a 72-year young Madhu Nathiani last year, who rocked the ramp. I mean, she won the subtitle of diva because she was a diva. And today she's working for so many designers in Delhi, and she's doing so many editorial shoots because, and I'm so proud of her
Yeah.
at 72, 73. You know, and that's a fight I have it with my mother, who's just turned 75, and she's like, "नहीं अभी तो हो गया." I said, "क्या हो गया?"
I know, क्या हो गया?
I mean, what is this conversation that अभी तो उम्र हो गई? Make
Yeah, what
use of
is
your
this?
umar, no?
Exactly. I mean, if you go back, just to, take an example from our Shastras, they say in the Mahabharata, like, there are some commentaries that say Arjun was 75 or 76 when he fought the battle of Kurukshetra. So
Yeah.
where is it,
Yeah.
where does age come
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Of course, he's a man, but that's good that you're taking up this, cause of ageism, because it's very harsh.
It is. It is. Yeah, so when you see trolls on some, older actresses or this thing, it's always a oh, budiya hai, or it's like not
Yeah.
fair, it's just not fair.
Yeah, so tell us a little more about this Mrs. India. Which season are you on right now, and future plans for that?
Yeah, so Marvelous Mrs. India is really my passion project. It's my baby. It's we are on our 3rd edition right now. The 3rd season is happening in Udaipur in December, and this started from this whole wanting to have these conversations about realizing self-worth. Look, it's not like I enjoy when I wake up in the morning and I see a new line that has come on my face, or the fact that I'm not as energetic at times as I would want to be, as I was when I was younger. It's not a happy space, or when you go down that thought process that, oh, I am growing older. But at the same time, that's the ultimate truth. Death ultimately is the ultimate truth. As every birthday goes by, you are going 1 year closer. I mean, I know it's a little morbid, but hey, you know what? That's the ultimate truth. So
Yeah, it is.
by trying to be a 20-year-old, it's not who am I fooling? So that is that when you think about it like that, and like, I'm all right. I'm all right. So I can slow down the aging process. I can even reverse it to some extent if I look after my lifestyle. So I'm a big fan of Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course he goes to a little extreme according to me, but what the hell, he is doing what he is doing, and there are lots of tips that he shares which I absolutely love. So yeah, reversal of age is possible, but it's not possible to avoid aging completely. So let's accept it.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming to when we talk about Marvelous Mrs. India. Not only that, we don't have any height barrier, and the reason for that is if you are 5 feet 1 inch, or even if you're 4'7", does that mean you're not beautiful? Why? If your parents or you're genetically not blessed with height, does that mean that you're cursed? No. It's who you are genetically, Does that mean you can't participate in a beauty pageant? Does that mean that it was your dream as a child to walk as Miss India, and when you grew older you could not? We have a platform for you. Mrs. India accepts. We don't have any barrier on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of these societal barriers.
Yes.
Otherwise, typically one thinks of a model only as a tall, very thin,
skinny
girl.
So we don't have that as well. In fact, our winner Salona Pati of season 2, she is a bit on a heavier side because she has thyroid problem, and even if she didn't, for example, her personality was sparkling. The way she handled herself, the way she worked through the entire process was amazing. The way she responded on stage, and she deserved to be a winner.
So you said you follow a couple of tips of Brian Johnson. I mean, how do you stay in shape and keep fit and radiant. What do you do?
I meditate. I meditate every day. I have been a Vipassana follower since 2008.
That's tough.
One of the things on my list is to do 20 days next year. So yeah, yeah. Other than that, I think just the basic things which I have also kind of incorporated in my life way too late, but again, better late than never, which is sleeping on time. Adequate quality and quantity of sleep becomes a very, very important thing. I'm a vegetarian, so I eat a lot of,
Always?
I have always been a vegetarian. That's how I was a brand ambassador for PETA.
Yes.
So, being a vegetarian, adequate water, that was something that again I think I was a camel in one of my births, because I can very well go without water the whole day. I have to remind myself to hydrate. That is one thing which I have consciously taken on. I like to do sauna once in a while, and it's proven that sauna helps in your heart health, and I'm fortunate that I have access to sauna, which is not that easy, but I'm fortunate. So sauna every once in a while. Need to do that more regularly. So things very simple.
Gymming, yoga?
Workout, yeah. So I do yoga at least twice a week, and weight training again is a very, very crucial part. I don't enjoy it much, frankly. I don't like working out, but I do because muscle mass is very, very important for good health. And the reason again why I want to be in good health is because of my brain. I want to remain active all my life, like cognitively, like brain wise. So, and for that muscles is important. It's very closely linked.
How did you get into Vipassana?
At that time I was going through a very bad personal crisis, and I was seeking a way out. And when you are going through a crisis, you always seek, right? You go to an astrologer, you go to a tarot card reader, you go for art of living, Sadhguru, Vipassana, transcendental meditation. I did it all.
Okay.
I did it all.
Yeah.
My calling is Vipassana.
Your calling is Vipassana.
Yeah, and I really found a lot of peace, a lot of bliss in that process of Vipassana, and that's why I continued on it.
It's tough though, right? I mean, you've done it now for a while. So
It's still not easy.
still not easy.
Every time, third or fourth day, like wondering what you're doing.
Yeah, but
it's
a lot
hard.
of the sort of very disturbing things must come up in the
They
mind.
do, yeah, they do.
You know,
They do.
and it's
But
hard.
the only way is going beyond them. So it's not like you suppress it, or it's not like there is CTRL delete, unfortunately. You got to live with those. But it kind of loses its power on you.
Yeah. It loses its power, means those negative thoughts, the disturbing thoughts lose their power on it.
Yeah, it doesn't distress you as much, and you're able to get out of the negative spiral much quicker.
So this is, you know, you've been through, of course, tough times, personal tough times. You know, you've spoken about marriage and divorce, and then being a single parent.
Yeah.
So Vipassana, in a sense, helped you through these.
Of course.
Tumultuous
So
time.
the first time I went for Vipassana, my son was about a year and a half.
Oh.
So it was very hard for me because he was a preterm baby. He was in the NICU for almost a month. He underwent 5 surgeries whilst he was in the NICU, and we weren't sure whether he would survive. He was that preterm.
Yeah.
So I was completely like a tigress. I protected him. He was under room arrest, house arrest, didn't let him go out because of the fear of infection, and made him very strong, touch wood. Now, to leave that child at 1.5 to go for Vipassana was a very, very tough decision. But I had to do it because it just came to that level where I couldn't handle things that were happening. A friend said a very nice thing. She said to me that, think about it. Yes, you're going away for 10 days. But those 10 days, when you come back, you'll be a better mother to your son.
Yeah.
And daughter, of course. So I said, yeah, maybe that's the feeling I should go with, and that's what I did.
Aditi, I'd like to end with a question, you know, on some wellness tips that you can give women in their 40s and 50s to maintain themselves, stay not only physically fit, but mentally also fit. You could give us.
Well, it is not advice, I wouldn't call it advice, but I would definitely recommend this is to carve out 10 to 15 minutes for yourself every single day. And that doesn't mean scrolling the reels or being on social media, that's not counted. But those 10 to 15 minutes for yourself, do something that you enjoy. It could be activities such as just sitting and letting your brain be. Just think, look outside, look at the clouds, look at some nature, like trees or whatever. Read a book,
Yeah.
enjoy a cup of coffee or tea if that's what you like, but just be. You could go for a walk with yourself,
Yeah.
but without an external aid. So you're not listening to music or listening to a podcast or doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just about being. So that, because we are human beings, we are not
Right.
human doings. So just be. That would be my request to everybody.
Okay, we're not human doings, we're human beings. Carve out time for yourself. Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure
Thank you.
talking to you, Aditi.
Thank you, likewise.
Thank you.